Hey, it's Zennial Gamer, and we are back with another Siege video today. So this past FRR, I must have ruined like 20 or 25 new monsters, made updates to a couple of other ones as well. And I'm going to be trying to use a lot of the new monsters in this Siege if I can. Hopefully not get too reckless with my comps, but I want to test them out and see how they're going to perform in their new sets. So two of those new monsters are this Tinkin, who... as you can see, he's on Rage Revenge. He's in a hybrid build, so he's in speed, attack, and HP. So no crit damage. Got a lot of crit damage through his subs, which is what brought him up. Well, through the subs plus the Rage set, which has brought him up to 132. And the attack rune is kind of what balanced things out. So the Tinkin is going to do a couple of things for me here. He's going to give me that speed lead skill and guild content. Not a ton, but probably, hopefully, enough that my Perna is going to outspeed the enemy Harmonia with that extra 16 speed. Now, the idea behind this comp right here is that Barbara is going to defense break Harmonia, and then hopefully the Tinkin, who actually acts before Perna, is going to be able to finish off that Harmonia. Perna is going to take the Reckless Assault from the Mo Long, but I've got double healers because I have the Tinkin and the Perna, so hopefully that's going to be enough to heal me back up. Barbara finishes off Mo Long, and then I can use the Perna and the Tinkin to finish off the Ritesh. So let's see how this goes. Okay, so we took first attack with our Barbara as we knew we would, and looking at the attack bars, my Perna should act ahead of the Harmonia so we can move ahead with our plan. And I'll have all three monsters going. So we got our defense break. We're going to come straight out with our skill 3 on the Tinkin. And only 12,000. I was hoping for more, but that might be enough with the Perna hit. And we should... Oh, we didn't get her. That's a problem. That is a big problem. All right, there's no value in the attack bar boost from the Masha right now, so we'll save our skill 3 and just go straight for this Harmonia. Let's go ahead and protect ourselves a little bit from crit. And we still... Wow. Okay. Well, now we're going to use this skill 3 and get our attack bar boost, and this should hopefully fit. Okay, that's got it. Wow. Okay, the question is, does my Tinkin act before Masha? Should I hit them along with Barbara? The answer is no. We've got to finish this Harmonia off. That was a very beefy Harmonia. But I think we're good now. We've gotten enough healing back with our Masha. We got really lucky. Honestly, I mean, the Mo Long Reckless going into the Perna probably would have been better for us. So maybe I shouldn't say we got lucky. The enemy team derped, but actually I think I would have rather had the Mo Long do his Reckless because he would have given up a ton of health on my Perna who resurrects. So I'll look at that back on the video later. I'm not sure if I would say this was lucky or not. I will say that it somehow worked. And it was a learning experience. Okay, we'll move on to the next fight. Okay, so for this next fight, we've got the Xingshe Theo Harmonia. And it doesn't look like new monsters, but actually this Fran is new. I ruined my old BSR Fran. I put her in a Swift set. Obviously not a super fast Swift set, and I wish she had a little bit more attack. The runes still need some grinding. But it hit a key target for me. At 269, Fran will be able to outspeed my Oki at 266 and my Mina at 265. Now, even though I'm using the Oki lead, Mina is going to go before Oki because the speed tower multiplies base speed, and Mina has such a crazy high base speed that her combat speed is going to be higher than Oki. So the plan here is we're going to obviously go with Fran to get up immunity and attack buff, and then we're going to look at the enemy side. It depends on who has will runes, who we're going to attack. Ideally, I would just take out the Theo. I would actually pop the Endor with Mina, and then use the Oki to reset that Endor. Okay, so no will runes, so we're actually going to go with that. My Mina should pop the Endor with the attack buff right here. And we got it. So now we can use the Oki to strip the Endor. With that Oki lead, we were hoping we were good. And now the Unwanted Harmony can't really do much from that Harmonia either. So I would rather not be attacking Xingshe with my Mina, but because of the passive and because Harmonia has will up, we're going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to attack break the Xingshe rather than using my heal yet because I don't have violent procs with the Fran. And I'm going to hold the Oki turn 3 because I can't stun that Harmonia. So we'll just keep hitting this Xingshe for now. Now we can go ahead and try and stun the Harmonia because my Fran will be able to heal even if the Xingshe stuns my Mina. So we did get the stun, which was nice. And I don't know if I want to use my heal yet. I think I'm going to hold off on the heal. We'll work on the Harmonia a little bit more. Okay, that's why we held off on the heal. So now we can recover from that defense break. While they're both stunned, let's go ahead and do what we can there. I want to reset that Harmonia while I've got a chance because she could always proc out of that stun. And then let's definitely get our Mina healed, and Harmonia's gone. So this actually worked out pretty nicely. I was a little bit hesitant, I got to admit. I wasn't sure how well this was going to work. Technically, we haven't killed that Xingshe yet, and he could go on like a proc fest here, but I don't think he can really kill an Oki-Fran combo because of the attribute disadvantage. So, and my Mina is doing really nicely here too. Okay, so this did work out really well, and we will move on to the next fight. Eventually. Okay, on to the next. Okay, we're going to be trying to steal this red 6 or this yellow 6 base before red gets it, so I'll be going a little bit faster on the next few fights. Okay, for this next fight, we are going back to an old speed comp because we're trying to take this base, so we're just going to be using Bastet, Odin, and Kali, and we're going to use our Kali to hopefully just take out this Lydia. Kali will die in the process. Oh, she's on Nemesis too. But now that the Lydia is gone, there's really no damage threat for me. That was a waste just because I'm rushing. I'm going to hold my buff, my skill 3 buff, for the time being. We'll try and take out this Chassoon. Ooh. It still doesn't actually matter. There's no damage left on the other side with that Lydia gone, but unfortunately now the fight's going to take a little bit longer. I think my Odin is normally around 43k, so the 25 that he did on that Chassoon was a little bit strange. I know Luisa's shield is big, but I didn't think it was quite that big. Yeah, there was 41k there through the shield, and I should have 100%, well over 100% crit with the Odin, so a little bit odd, but as I said, I don't know why I'm still manualing. I should auto this. So as I said, all it did was prolong the fight, and we'll move on to the next. Okay, so for this next fight, we're facing Sekhmet, Camilla, and Iris, and we've taken Ciara, Annabelle, and Poseidon. So my hope here is that I can take the Iris out quickly, but I've brought the Poseidon in. Ooh, that was not ideal. As I was saying, though, I brought the Poseidon in to control the attack bars, and then the Annabelle's there, obviously, for the defense break. So we don't want to attack that Iris directly just yet because of the counters. This should finish her. We'll get a silence on the Sekhmet, and we're going to have to turn cycle our Ciara back a little bit. But on the plus side, the fact that Sekhmet's skill worked means that she didn't get a benefit on her cooldown. Now, a little trick with Ciara against Camilla's is if you leave a bomb on them while you know you still have another monster to attack, it gives you that proc protection right there. It also helps work down that Camilla just a little bit faster when you get to it. Even though she's going to get one more turn and heal herself, now she'll have less health when I get to her. Had I set the bomb right off on the Sekhmet, then I would have had to have spent forever dealing with that Camilla, because when you don't have the ability to detonate, then every time you hit the Camilla, she cleanses the bomb. So it just kind of speeds up your fight a little bit. Okay, on to the next. And we've almost got that base. All right, we got the base. All right, moving on to the next fight. Okay, for this next base, we have this Ophelia, Chandra, and Xingshe, and we're going to try and two-man it. The Tractor is new for me, so he's going to be on Vampire, crit damage build, obviously. Not the greatest runes, but not terrible. And then we're going to be bringing in our Bella, which is going to allow me to strip. If Chandra does his hug, it also lets me strip the Ophelia provoke, although we're going after Ophelia first. And then it gives me defense break, heal, and some attack bar manipulation. Now, the thought process here is that the only real damage dealer on the enemy side is Xingshe. And the reason he does a lot of damage is because of his defense break. And Tractor can't be defense broken, and he's going to draw all the attacks. So we're hoping that the combination of Vampire plus Bella is going to be enough for us to go ahead and keep our Tractor alive. Can't get through that shield, so this is going to be a problem. And the Destroy Xingshe is a bigger problem. Okay, yeah, this is over. All right, bad idea. Bad idea. We'll move on to the next comp. Okay, since we tried that two-man last time, we're now stuck with trying two more two-man fights in order to balance out our monsters. So for this one, we're going to go with our Joltan and our Chasoon. Now, Chasoon, my build is nearly max resistance. She's not violent. Joltan's not violent. So there's a risk that I'm not going to be able to keep from the Jean provokes. However, every time they hit Joltan, they're taking damage. So my thought here is that because there's no defense break on the enemy side, as long as I get off my third skill with Chasoon every now and then on the Joltan, I'll be able to keep him alive and the light monsters will suicide on him. It's a little bit of a weak comp because there's not enough damage on my side, but since I am forced to do some two-mans and there's all strong defenses on the enemy side, this was probably, it gives me a fighting chance at least. Okay. How many turns are you gonna take? Jesus! Okay, we'll try again. Okay, for this next fight, we're going to be trying the Ophelia Chandra Xingshe again, but this time we're going to try it with a full comp. And we're still kind of testing some new stuff here. As you saw from the siege status, this is it's not the greatest siege for us, so it's a good time to try and test some new comps. So we're going to be bringing the Ira to strip and hopefully get some stuns. And then we just switched our Masha on the FRR. We switched our Masha into an attack build where she was on a hybrid build, although you can see the HP sub on that rune. So she's still sort of hybrid, but she is a little bit more attack now. And then we're going to use the Verd for turn cycling. And so you can see my Verd, he actually got slowed down a little bit. I don't use him much, so I stole a rune. And so what's going to happen here is the Masha goes first. Then the Iris goes, and they should both, I believe, outspeed that Ophelia, I hope. And then the Verd is kind of on the verge, but maybe the Iris gets a stun before then. And then, of course, having two fire monsters does reduce the odds of Xingshe doing too much damage to us, and we're going to be going after the Xingshe first. So we'll start off with our defense break here. And so far, so good. We want to, do we want to silence the Chandra? Or do we want to do our Blade Surge? Or do we want to silence the Ophelia? I think we want to do our Surge and go, hey, that's exactly what we wanted, yeah. Because silencing either Chandra or Ophelia did put us at a little bit of a risk that the other one would gain control of us and force us to wait one more turn for Ira. So the stuns were really nice there, but this worked out pretty well. I think we're in pretty good shape. Our Masha is obviously at full stack now. And there shouldn't be a whole lot. Now we'll go ahead and silence that Chandra because we want to keep working on this Ophelia anyway. I can't use my defense break here, so we'll go skill 1. And that times out perfectly. We can strip the invincibility. Nice little counter there from Verd. Definitely going better than our last match did when I scared my poor dog again. But I think we could pretty much auto from here. But just because I've got two fire monsters against a water monster, we won't quite auto yet. My Mash is full stack, though. Her speed right now is just insane. She's going to turn cycle so much. And then once she lays the defense break, even though Iris is not in a damage build, she would be able to do enough. So there we go. We got one back in the win charts again, and we'll move on to the next fight. Okay, so for this next fight, we're going to be using our Mimir to control the Luis, and we're also using him for the speed rate, for the speed lead. We're going to use Teor to nuke out the Rakan. So basically my my Lauren is going to go first, and she'll strip the Rakan, and my Teor will definitely be faster. And even if Luis manages to put immunity up, by then I'll already have defense break. So we got the strip and defense break there. We'll go ahead and just take away the Camilla's attack bar for now rather than the Luis. And we can put a brand on that Rakan too, which probably, yeah, that put him below the... Wow, okay. You know what? I feel like we should put the primary hit on Camilla here. The Rakan's going to die either way. So we'll go after the Camilla. Still killed the Rakan. Now we knew that we were going to get the shield up from the Luis, but it's not a big deal here. We're going to hold our brand for right now, and we'll keep working on this Camilla until that Luis immunity wears, actually until we can strip the Luis immunity, or not. We will go ahead and take away that Camilla's attack bar just because I don't want her to go proc crazy. Then we'll lower this Luis attack bar, and we should be pretty much good from right here. Ideally, I'm going to want my Teor to take out the Camilla, but for right now, we're going to just try and finish that Luis first. Nice little counter there, and now I can basically auto out. Why do you always get the procs when they don't matter? Lauren goes like 5 times after the fight's over, but when you actually need a proc, it's the enemy team that procs, right? Okay, so there we go. On to the next fight. Okay, so for this next fight, Susanoo is the new monster right here. He's on Vampire Endure. He's definitely slower than I would prefer, but he has a decent-ish build overall. I would like him, obviously, to have a little bit more crit rate. But overall, decent build. Remember, his passive gives him an extra 50% resistance, so he's 99 resist on the Vampire. And he's got some reasonable tanky stats for being a primary damage dealer when you put it in with the max resist. The Rakan is going to be our target, so what we're doing here, my Brandia is going to be very slow. And she's probably not actually going to act before either the Luis or the Josephine. So what we're going to try and do is we're using the Susanoo as a speed lead for the Orion, and we're hoping that we can reduce the Josephine's attack bar with the Susanoo, and that will allow my Brandia to nuke out the Rakan. Now, I have not actually used Brandia, I think, in Siege at all. I don't remember using Brandia in Siege, but since her new... Okay, so... we didn't get the speed lead, but we resisted the provoke. That's, I guess, just as good. Let's go ahead and just bop the Rakan a little bit, and this really should nuke him out with 3 negative effects. 36. We didn't get him. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Well, we're not going to use our defense break yet. There's no point, so I guess we're just going to hit the Luis. And Brandia might be dead. All but dead. Can we kill the Rakan? No. Wow. Wow, come on. Seriously? So if we kill the Rakan, Josephine kills Brandia. If we reduce the attack bar of Josephine, Rakan kills Brandia. It's the same thing either way. So you always take the kill when you can. Maybe we get a stun? But the passive. Okay. Brandia's gone. Despite attribute advantage, we are going to go after the defense. Wow. We can't break that shield. That is a strong shield. Still, this Susanoo is, there's no more stun, so, oh, well, no, there's the Orion stun. And there's the Susanoo stun. Despite the 100% resistance, that was nice. But what I was saying is the Susanoo still has a chance to survive here. If Josephine would stop proccing, because she keeps getting back to her passive. This is not going as I had envisioned. But we're not dead yet. Rakan's gone, and we're still in it. Can we get a strip? And we go all on the Josephine. Not, not how I had envisioned at all. But at this point now, Louise can't give herself immunity anymore. I hate being in a position where I'm attacking against attribute advantage. But it's just the way the fight worked out. We get to strip here now at least. She's back to her passive. And let's see. Defense break. Okay, okay, that was helpful. We needed that damage. Reduce attack bar. Okay, we're good. Actually, I should not have done that because I think she's back to her passive, right? Did she cleanse? Yeah, she cleansed and took a turn. Okay, that did it. That was not how I envisioned that fight. But for the first time using Susanoo OP. I like Susanoo. The Brandia, she left a little bit to be desired there. I was hoping with her last buff, if I could get her up to an attack, because she's built for PvE, so she's super slow, lots of damage. I really thought she could one-shot that Rakan. Her coming up short did not help the cause. Anyway, on to the next fight. Okay, so for this next fight, Barbaras are normally super OP. They really scare me. But this team, it only has 2 wins. It's 2 and 7 on defense. So I'm thinking that it's not super fast. And so what we're going to be doing is taking our Garo Daphnis combo, and then we're bringing in Gani. And the thought process here is that if the enemy has will runes, then Daphnis can take out that Vivishell. If the enemy does not have will runes, then Gani can reset the Vivishell. Either way, my Garo should be able to force Barbara into her human form before she gets to act. And as long as she doesn't get her AoE defense break and I control the Vivishell, then Garo should be fine even with the Jean provokes. And once we get the Vivishell and the Barbara gone, we should be good. So they do have will, so we're going to go for the Barbara. Oh, that's a strong Barbara. But we do get to hopefully nuke out the Vivishell. We got her. Okay, that was a big, important part. Ah, we didn't have enough damage. And she gets immunity up. And she gets immunity up. So we'll ventilate the Daphnis, but we're going to get provoked. Ooh, enemy derp. Enemy derps are really important right now. So Vivishell's about to screw us. Let's go ahead. Do we stun the Jean or do we stun the Barbara? Well, actually, Vivishell, Daphnis acts before Vivishell, so I can nuke her out. And so the Barbara is the bigger concern. However, if I stun the Barbara, Jean will put invincibility on her. It doesn't actually matter because Ganny acts before both of them. So let's just do damage to Barbara for right now. If you don't know, the Garo skill 1 does more damage than the Garo skill 2. So we didn't need the stun yet. Once I looked at the attack bars and realized that Ganny's going to act ahead. Because now... What just happened? I thought Ganny was going to act ahead. Did I look at the wrong attack bar? Am I ever going to get another turn? Maybe not. Okay. Reset. Okay, there's a human form. You know what? I'm not even going to take any chances. I want that Jean gone because that Barbara can't kill me unless she's on violent. It's a single target attack. So with the Jean gone, we're fine. Yeah. I'm really curious. I must have looked at Daphnis because they're both Fairy Kings. I must have looked at the Daphnis attack bar and thought Ganny was going to act ahead. Interesting. But okay, we got really lucky, to be honest, with that Jean derp at the start of the fight. If she had provoked me in that first round, I was probably going to lose this one. Although they took a whole lot of hits in the middle and I survived, so don't know. But we've got 2 monsters left. We're going to have to find one more fight to try in 2-man, and we'll wrap up the siege. Okay, so for our last fight, since we have to do a 2-man, we're going to try a Dovolution. Now, to be honest, I don't think this is going to win. That Lauren is most likely, with the Fran speed lead, going to outspeed my Dova. At 279, this is a little bit of a stretch. But if I get lucky and the Lauren attacks the Lucian, then my Dova will cut and I can still boost the Lucian's attack bar up. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. It's a 50-50 on where that Lauren's going to go. If the Lauren hits the Dova, then I've probably lost, because Ajir will then confiscate the rest of Dova's attack bar. But we'll see. We'll see how this goes. Now, there were my Lucian is not a super fat Lucian either. There were some other 4-star defenses with Adrian. Oh, we outsped the Lauren. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can do it. Did we get it? Okay, Lauren's down, Ajir's down, and we got it. We should be able to take the Fran one-on-one. Wow. Did not think I was going to outspeed that Lauren. That was a nice little finish anyway to the end. As I was saying, my Lucian's not super crazy fat. He's plus 1800 attack, 212. I'll show the runes after. The other defenses in this base all had Trianas, and my Lucian can't kill a Triana, which is why I went for that Lauren one. So here are the runes of that Lucian that I just used. Like I said, not crazy fat. I did have a 100% crit rate one, but it does less damage, and I really wanted to make sure that I finished off that. I was actually more worried about the Lauren than the Ajir, because of the attribute advantage. The 86 crit rate gave me 100 on the Ajir anyway. So I was just mostly worried that I wouldn't finish out the Lauren. But hey, it worked out. So 1 for 3 on the 2-man fights, not the best record, but overall 9-win siege. And hopefully we've got some people who are sleeping who can log on and maybe take back a few bases, because we're being steamrolled this siege. But that's it for today. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the video, please pop that subscribe button over on the left. It shows me that you enjoyed the video, but more importantly, it shows me that you found the information useful and hopefully it helped you in your gameplay. So here's the deal. You pop subscribe and I'll keep popping out content. Thanks guys.